I was channel surfing one day, this a few years ago, and Hitchcock's film Marnie showed up, and it's one of the movies where no matter where I am in it, if it turns up on my television, I just keep watching. I read the book that Hitchcock based the film on, and I think it's really viable. We meet this woman who is embezzling money from the place where she's working. Shortly after the boss makes an untoward pass at her, she decides she's out of there. She steals all the money out of the safe, and she changes her identity. She changes the color of her hair, the way she dresses, what her name is. She moves to a new town, gets another job, and very quickly becomes the object of interest in the boss. He says he'll call the police and turn her in unless she marries him. So in this very bizarre twist, he blackmails her into marrying him.
Musically, for me as a composer, having a character, especially a female character, in this case a mezzo, where you have so many different registers, where there's what she's saying, there's what she's thinking, there's the kind of immediate source behind what she's thinking and saying, and then a kind of deeper source that we only hint at. And what's great about opera, of course, is that you can do that work musically through the singing, musically through the orchestra, visually, and it requires all those things to make sense, and it requires a great sort of dramatic sense across the board, right, including her as an actress.
It's always very interesting to step into a new role for the first time, to create that character from scratch, essentially. It's a very long process, and it's certainly not finished by the end of the run. So there's an understanding that it is a constantly evolving process, and there's something very challenging about that, but also very liberating at the same time.
We really wanted to capture that late 50s, early 60s period. England is where the book is set and where our opera is set. Ariane Phillips, our costume designer, took a very strong graphic approach to the clothes. The silhouettes, the shapes, and the colors are almost distilled from that period in the most extreme way. One of the things that Nico did that I think is really brilliant, among many brilliant things, is he's created these 4 shadow Marnies.
For me, it was very important, right from the beginning, that I wanted to have this sub-ensemble, so sort of semi-chorus, that represents in some way not just her anxieties, but a number of possibilities of other characters inside her head or surrounding her, and they sing in a sort of early music style, so without any vibrato, with long lines on single words.
The challenge will be to transmit the entire story to the audience through the music and the vocal line and the story and everything that's created on stage, as well as everything else that will happen in her mind.
Isabel Leonard was the first singer I thought of for the role of Marnie. She's a beautiful singer, and she's a very beautiful woman. She also has, I think, a quality that it is very hard to act. She is elusive and has a way of keeping a distance, but at the same time invest completely in the character.
I've known Isabel, we were at Juilliard more or less around the same time, and she has this effortlessness that was sort of legend. And even when I tell my friends who are at Juilliard that she's gonna be in, that they're like, oh, right, obviously.